In this video, I want to look at the 5 best coaches in women's basketball of all time. Now, I previously did a video where I ranked the 5 best coaches, and that one was more looking at if I was buying stock, what stock would I buy in terms of this coach going into the future? And I got crushed for that video. Part of it is I don't think I explained the parameters that I was looking at. The other one is I put a choice on there that I do have regrets about, but that's for a later video. In this video on the 5 best coaches of all time in women's basketball, I am essentially looking at 3 parameters, those being national championship wins, how many games did you win in the program you built, and then finally your impact on the game. So when you tie these all together, it might sort of switch up the list and make people unhappy, but hey, that's nothing new for me and this channel. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe and give the video a like. All right, let's get into this. So first of all, on this list, I want to give special acknowledgement to 2 coaches that did not make the top 5. One is Linda Sharp from USC. She got 2 national championships during the Cheryl Miller years, and I think it should be acknowledged. The other one is Muffet McGraw. She built a hell of a program at Notre Dame, won 2 national championships. I think she's probably had one of the better exits of any coach, as her handoff and transition out into retirement has been excellent. As her successor, Niele Ivey seems poised to have success going into the future. I liked her stance later in her career of only hiring female assistants, so to get more females in basketball, I think it was very forward thinking. But ironically, that is probably why she is not the top 5 on my list, despite winning 2 national championships and having a hell of a lot of wins, because I put Dawn Staley as number 5, as she has 2 national championships, has come to South Carolina and built the program from the ground up, and it really just seems like a matter of time before she gets a 3rd and maybe a 4th national championship in the future. But her impact goes way beyond basketball, as she saves the sport from a black eye. It's very telling that a large majority of the players are black, and so few black coaches are in Division I women's college basketball. She offers black talented players a chance they did not have before she was there, a chance to play for a great program by a coach that looks like them. But not only that, she's used her platform to try to encourage and help promote other black coaches, and I think that is very commendable and why she is on this list, not only for the national championships, but overall impact on basketball and the change that she is making. Now my number 4 will probably be controversial. I have Kim Mulkey. Yes, she has 4 national championships, which is more than another coach that will be above her on this list. And she has a hell of a lot of wins. She just got her 700th win this year. The ability to build at 2 programs, so Baylor and then having a second act at LSU, is very impressive as well. The way that she has delegated to other coaches in terms of relying on Bob Starkey as her lead assistant and using Gary Redis for recruiting, she's going to go on for a while, and she might even get further national championships. It seems very likely that she might get more, and in time pass my number 3 coach, which is Tara VanDerveer. Now, VanDerveer has been getting a lot of shine as she recently passed Coach K on the all-time win list and is currently sitting at 1,203 wins. The way things stick now, I will keep this list as is, but if Mulkey gets another win, then I would probably reverse these and have Mulkey in front of VanDerveer. As it's clear, they're both great coaches, but then again, how much do I put into the game wins? Is it sort of like the Craig Biggio getting 3,000 hits? I love Biggio. I'm an Astros fan, but at the same time, Biggio and Bagwell could never do it in the playoffs. Same thing for Warren Moon. You've got to win the championship, and she's done that, but I would put more weight on championships. And with that, the number 2 is Pat Summitt, who was below Geno on the slimmest of margins. She had 8 titles and changed the game simply. But the biggest thing about Summitt, I think, is that she was always about the betterment of the game, and to that, she always played the best competition did not run from anybody, especially UConn. Set up that game initially when she was the power program. I mean, that wouldn't happen in college football. Rarely happens. You wouldn't see a Saban say, okay, let me go play this tough game on the road just to promote something, to promote college football. No, usually coaches are after their own self-interest, which is understandable because their jobs are dependent on it. But Summit agreeing to play UConn was big, and big for basketball, and really took it to another level. The whole Tennessee UConn rivalry was much like the Bird and Magic rivalry that really spurred the growth in the NBA. This really got women's college basketball going and the respect that it needed. I love reading about this rivalry. I love how she and Geno basically hated each other. And the rivalry was essentially called off when she thought UConn was cheating with recruiting. I know they made peace in the end, and they had obviously grudging respect for each other, but love the way that Candace Parker still hates Geno Auriemma over the Olympics thing, and how it's, it's good when you have rivalry in sport. It makes both programs and coaches better, in my opinion. Obviously, the real shame in this is that she got Alzheimer's, or diagnosed with that, at the age of 59. Essentially, she lost out 10 years of her career, which really cheated basketball fans of seeing her final act, which is a real shame. And now, obviously, the number one is Geno Auriemma. I was watching the NFL Films Perfect Season of the Miami Dolphins, and they had Shula talking, and he was like, during that 14-0 season, he's like, if we lose the Super Bowl, nobody cares about the season, much like the Patriots, obviously. It is very unfair, but it is about winning championships, which are totally dependent on a ball bouncing and unbelievable luck. But luck is on your side when you build a great program. 22 Final Fours, 11 titles, always got the best players, but even more important than that, recruited the right players. So he knew that he was a pusher, and if you came to UConn, you were going to be pushed every day in practice and in games. And that was smart. Like, I remember Oklahoma and Barry Switzer, they had it going in the 80s, and he took on Marcus Dupree, wrong player for Switzer, as it drove Switzer crazy because he knew this guy could go for 300 yards every game, but Marcus was just on and off depending on the game. And that's the thing that Geno did well, is he recruited the right player for UConn that they could fit his system and him getting after them, because his whole thing was, I want players that I can coach hard because I can go into any game and feel like we are over-prepared as they survive practice with me and me putting all sorts of pressure on them. This game will be a piece of piss. So there you go. That's my top 5. So Staley 5, Mulkey 4, Tara 3, Pat Summitt 2, and Geno Auriemma, the number 1 coach all time in women's basketball. Now over to you and your poison. Give it to me. Tell me why this list is wrong and biased, and who I hate and who I don't like. Go for it. Thanks a lot for watching. Good night.